I'm going to set up a web server. And the first thing I will want to do is, in order for people to access the web server, is to have a domain name for my web server. Now, I don't have a domain name registered, but there are services out there that will allow you to have a free domain name. So I have signed up with noip.com, and I have a free account with them, and that account allows me to create 3 hosts in a particular domain. The domain that they offer this free account is ddns.net. I've already created a domain previously for another project, and I'm going to add another host in this domain. So the host that I created before, this is it. So I'm going to add another host. So I still have one more to add after if I choose. So I'll click on the add host button, and host name I will put would be ITC25. The IP address that this host will point to is actually the public IP address of the internet service provider. I find that out by going to whatsmyip.org, and it will show you what IP address they use to link to their web page. So this is the public IP address I have right now. So that is what is entered here. I do have to change any other, or to add any other settings, so I will click on add host. So as you see, the host is added. So this host, when you type in the browser itec285.ddns.net, it will point to my public IP address. What I have to do is to set up a web server on my network to handle any HTTP requests. So I will sign out of here. I don't need this anymore, it's already set up. What I will have to do is to go to the machine that I'm installing the web server on and download and install the web server. And next, what I will have to do is to configure my wireless router to forward all HTTP requests on port 80 to that particular machine that I'm setting up the web server on. So I will go to my machine that I'm going to install the server on right now. So this is the machine that I'm going to install the web server on. So what I will do is do a search for, I will use Apache server, so I will have I will look for Apache server download, and I will choose the first search result. I can download from MirrorSite, and I want the latest release files for Microsoft Windows, and I will try the Apache Launch. So I have 2 versions. I have the 64-bit and the 32-bit version. I will choose the 64-bit version. Okay, the download is complete, so I will open the folder. And this is the zip file, and this is the information that I will need. So I will extract this file to the root of my C drive. I don't have any other drive, so I'll use that drive for now. So let me extract. While that is extracting, I have one more file to download. Now, since this version of Apache uses the Microsoft Visual C redistributable for Visual Studio. I have to download that and install it before I could use the web server. So I will go to the site and click on download, and I will click on the 64-bit version and click on next. Alright, so the download is complete. So I'll open the folder and I will run this file. I agree and install. Okay, so this is installed successfully, so I will close this. Okay, so the file is on the root of drive C, and there's the Apache 24. This contains the web server, but actually the web server is in bin, the httpd execute. So I will run that from the command prompt. You must open the command prompt as an administrator, otherwise you will not be able to, the web server wouldn't work. Right, so I will change directory to C Apache 24. Right, CD bin, and I will run httpd. Now before I run that command, I previously ran localhost, but I'll run it again to show that the web server is not set up as yet, or is not running as yet. So after I run this command, then I will receive the default page. The default page is actually in the Apache htdocs index HTML. Now if I open this directly, this is basically what you will see. It works. So I will close this and I will run the server. So now that the server is running, well, it's asking the firewall will block it. So I will have to open up the port for the firewall to function. Sorry. I will have to open up the ports in the firewall for the server to function. Alright, so see localhost, it refreshes it, and as it says, it works. So this will work now because it's on the local network and it's coming directly to the computer. So I have no problems connecting to it from any computer I have on this network. But what I really want is to connect to it through the internet, through the itech.ddns.net host. So in order for that to happen, I have to configure my wireless router. So now I'm logged into my wireless router, and this is a Linksys router. Depending on the router you have, you'll see a different interface. So in order for me to access this web server through the internet, I will click Application and Gaming, and I will have to follow the forward, port 80. I will leave this as both, and this machine's name is, well, not the name, but the IP address of this machine. The IP address of this machine is 192.168.1 112, and I will enable it and click on Save Settings. So now when HTTP requests come to my public IP address, it will be forwarded to this machine through port 80, and the web server itself will respond to the request. So I will close this. So I will go to another machine and I will type the host name that I created earlier, and I'm supposed to see the same, it works when the web page comes up, because that is the only web page I have on the site. I'm on a different machine, and what I'm going to do is open the browser, and in the browser I'm going to type the domain name that I created earlier, which will be itc285.ddns.net. So this is supposed to point to my public IP address and route this request to the machine that I set up the web server on. So when I run it, I will see that it works. So my web server is set up, and I'm able to link to it through this domain name, itec285.ddns.net. So that's it for the setting up of the web server.